Indeed. Now, let's put that all aside because I want to bring in our resident contrarian, shall we say.
You can just call me a lefty.
I call you a lefty. You don't mind being called a lefty? All right, cool. We'll call you a lefty. So, of course, we saw yesterday a bunch of polling coming out from Redbridge, which is a fairly lefty kind of polling outfit. We've had News Poll today, which actually might have been even a little bit more positive for the Yes camp. The Yes campaign, though, does seem to be in a bit of a panic mode. We saw this exchange this morning between Sunrise TV host Nat Barr, Barnaby Joyce, and Tanya Plibersek. Have a look at this. I want to get your reaction to this.
Tanya, in the Uluru Statement of the Heart, which the Prime Minister agreed on the first night he was elected that he would implement, they talk about a treaty and they talk about financial settlement. Is that the case? Because when you create a void, it is filled by information. That is what the opposition is doing in this case. They're saying we don't have the we don't have the information, and they're the ones filling it. And at this stage, they're winning here.
Yeah, they're winning because they're using the same old scare campaign that they've used every time there's been a change. So during the national apology, when Peter Dutton walked out, he said Australia would be up for billions of dollars of compensation after the apology. Never happened. After the Mabo and Wick decisions, native title, billions of dollars compensation, never happened. But isn't it mentioned in the Uluru Statement of the Heart, Tanya? It's actually written in there, isn't it? So will there be a financial settlement as part of a percentage of GDP? That's actually talked about, isn't it? And a treaty. Well, Matt, we're not determining any of that right now.
Sam, it seems to me that the big problem the Yes camp has with this is that they don't know what they're arguing for. The Prime Minister started this by saying he was arguing for the Uluru Statement. Now it seems the Yes camp only wants to make it about this one element and divorce that from the other two. And people are, I think rightly, as Nat Barr suggested, they're a bit confused. Does the Yes campaign have a messaging problem, Sam Crosby?
Look, I don't know if they have a messaging problem or not. At the end of the day, the proof will be in the pudding, right? If it wins, everyone will be a genius. If it loses, everyone will be terrible. That's the way any of these campaigns always go to work. Let's be honest, though. This is complete obfuscation of the point. We're all trying to throw up as much conjecture as we possibly can around, oh, it's about treaty and it's about reparations and it's about all these other things. At the end of the day, in October or November, whenever the question's going to be, there is going to be one set of words on the ballot, and you will either write yes or no as a result of that one question. The government of the day will then come along and say, okay, how are we going to fulfil, if it's successful, how are we then going to fulfil this idea of a voice being given, representation being given?
But Sam, I mean, before we bring in the rest of the panel, sure, isn't it fair for voters to say that, well, it's fair to ask what's going to come next, because after all, it's not a law, it's not, a plebiscite, it is changing the Constitution. So isn't it fair to ask the what's next question?
Of course it's fair to ask, and that question will be decided by whomever the government is of the day. But at the end of the day, there will have to be a voice to Parliament. So in the past, John Howard abolished, of course, the then voice to Parliament. That can't happen going forward, which is why it's important that it's in the Constitution.
Well, Steve Price, what do you say to that? I know you want to hop in on
Sam,
this here.
Seriously, I mean, yeah, dangerous. Sam's just enunciated why the yes vote is collapsing, because he keeps, using words that mean nothing and trying to convince Australians that this is a simple thing. It's not a simple thing at all. And people have now woken up to what's actually going on. And if they vote yes, there will be treaty and there will be Makarrata. And then we open the door to a whole bunch of things. Now, Senator Malandiri today was trying to suggest, oh, no, this is not going to happen. It won't be happening. Anthony Albanese is trying to say the same thing. We all know, Sam. And given how clever you are and how long you've been in politics, what would you advise the Yes campaign today to do to rescue their campaign that is in the toilet right now?